Hello, it's Courtney with balancewithcourtney.com. I am passionate about helping others discover their happy and inspire them to make it a daily habit. My intention is to hack happy by interviewing experts to share their story, to inspire others, and create a happy movement. Today's happy expert is Brenda Reiss, the author of Forgive Yourself. Brenda Reiss truly walks her talk. She discovered the power of self-forgiveness when a series of life events put her in a very dark place. Failed marriages, abuse, and severe health issues were just a few of the challenges she faced. Determined to rewrite her story, Brenda sought answers and found them in the concept of radical forgiveness. What she learned changed her life forever. Brenda is highly skilled at helping people find peace in their personal and professional lives. Coupling teachable techniques with forgiveness theory, the certified radical forgiveness master coach creates an environment which allows clients to release anger, shame, and guilt. The result? An opportunity to live with joy in the present and the future. Based in the Seattle area, Brenda is known for her inspiring speeches and workshops. Hello, Brenda.
Hello, Courtney. Oh, I'm so happy to see you.
I know. Welcome. Thank you so much for taking time to inspire others today.
Absolutely.
Well, let's dive right in. Would you please share with others the story of how you found your happy?
Well, I found my happy through what wasn't making me happy, right? So after my third divorce, and I didn't quite know what to do with myself because I had been a pretty heavy codependent and kind of living the opposite of what I knew, right? I had a feeling that there was more happiness in my life, but I had been living kind of a very stressful life. And it was like through that divorce, I decided it's kind of like, no, this is not how I'm going to live the rest of my life. And so what I did was I just started on what I call an intentional spiritual journey, because I think we're always on our journey. I think we're always on our path, whether it's through the hard times or good times. But what I found was it's like, okay, I'm going to intentionally learn about Brenda and what makes Brenda happy, because I had been living my life trying to make everybody else happy, not knowing why, not knowing about all this stuff that goes on underneath. So I started that journey about 10 years ago, intentional in my late 40s, and thought, no, I want to fall in love with me. And then I want to have another relationship. What is healthy? What is fun? What is life? And so that's what I started to do. And so I just was led, to different modalities and teachers and learning more about myself the whole way, and just meeting these wonderful people that helped guide me to learn more about myself, to release the things that I was releasing, to learn. And the part of that is when I found the forgiveness work too, because I had also, going through that pain of divorce, I had also realized my body was breaking down because I was ignoring myself. And I know I'm not alone in this, but I was ignoring that, and I ended up with a back fusion and a neck fusion and a brain tumor. And so, that was a pretty big wake-up call. So in the midst of me finding myself, that's what, I just finally decided I needed some help, and the forgiveness work was huge during that time, which helped me uncover the things, right, that was leading or that led me to my happiness. But that's where I found more passion and joy. And as I released the things in my life, I actually have lived more in a state of joy, right, and live in the happy. And it was amazing. I did not think it was possible for a long time.
Can I ask you, when did you come to the realization that it was time to do some forgiving?
Well, it was in that divorce. It was divorce because So I didn't even know I needed forgiveness. That wasn't really in my whole understanding until then. Until the fact that when I was being triggered so much, right, going through the divorce, it's painful. It is painful going through a breakup. It just is, regardless of whether it's a divorce or someone's been together for a while. It hurts. And so when I found I needed forgiveness was then, as I was trying to forgive the way that I thought, right, by understanding where he was coming from, because I was never taught how to forgive. And it was like trying to understand, but every time like I saw a Metro bus, I would get triggered because he was a Metro bus driver. Every time I saw someone looked like him, I would get triggered. And I'm going, wow. And so all that while I am, I'm trying to do it that way. But I knew in my heart that for me to go forward, for myself especially, and then with relationship with others, I really needed to forgive. And then I learned I really needed to forgive me. But me.
Wow. So define what happiness means to you. Everyone has their own definition.
Well, for me, happiness is where I feel confident, and it's what I determine is a lightness of being. That's what I think happiness is for me. It's a lightness of being, and to where I don't feel heavy, because when other things are bothering us, we feel heavy, and I feel heavy. So it's a lightness of being for myself. It's where I just feel like I stand taller. I love to smile, and I reach out more. I connect more. So happiness to me is where my heart feels lighter, my body feels lighter, and I can really look at life with, the glass half full kind of attitude, which I look at it usually that way anyway, but it's a little easier with the happiness.
Yeah. And just, I know it when I have that feeling, just walking around life seems so much easier. It's like you don't have this constant heaviness on your shoulders, and you're present. It's like when we have all this stuff, all these stories playing out in our head, we're constantly trying to analyze those. We're not even present with anything around us. So you actually started living.
Yes. And to be present is amazing.
Yeah.
You realize, wow, what was I missing as I am constantly moving forward, right? I'm constantly watching out. I'm constantly, looking for other things, or I'm living in the past. When I'm present, wow, the colors are brighter. You get to notice the people around you, and you get to know more about yourself.
Yeah.
That's the cool part.
Yes. So true. So how do you maintain your happy and make it a daily habit?
What keeps me happy?
Yes.
Or how do I maintain it?
Yes.
How I maintain my happy is what I've learned to do is like a morning routine. And that's how I get centered with myself. So what I like to do is I start my day with prayer. I start my day with however you want to term it, but I just start my day with gratitude. I say so much for this day. I mean, before I get out of bed, I am thanking the universe, and I'm thanking my body. And because I'm creating that relationship all the time with my body. And so what I do is I start my day that way, and then I'm grateful for the things around me. So I'll do that. I do a little gratitude list of the 5 things I'm grateful for that day, like talking with you today. That's how I started my day.
Yay.
Like, oh, I'm so happy with Courtney, and I'm grateful that she's doing things about happiness and bringing happy to us. And so that's how I do that. And then what I like to do is I like to sit for however long that I'm able to do that. Sometimes it's 5 minutes, sometimes it's 20. And I like to put soft music, and I just kind of sit and journal. And that's my meditation. Sometimes I'll get quiet in my head so that thoughts can come through. And then I also like little oracle cards. I love oracle cards and the angel cards, So I'll pull that for the day. And so it's just my own little ritual that helps me center with me so that I can actually present myself to the world, right? And not feel heavier. So I wake up with a heavy thought, right? A dream or something that lightens up. And then I end my day that way too.
Can you imagine if everyone put themselves first thing in the morning, they connected with themselves and connected with spirit and then went out and did the world? Can you imagine?
Oh my.
This gives me chills.
It does.
Yeah.
And you're helping to do that. You're helping to do that by interviews and bringing this. I love it.
That is how this all came about. You know, everyone's constantly like, from as early as I can remember, people would always say, you look so happy. You look so happy. And I'm like, well, what does happy look like? I'm just being me. And then I really started to go inside and see, and I realized that I had a very steady self-care where I took care of myself before I did anything else in the world. And it was because I really cared what I put out to the world. And so this inspired me to give people like an instruction booklet, to give them permission, because people seem to need it. Go do you. Go be you. You are great. And I am so passionate about that. I mean, I could be screaming it all day long. So I'm going to be that when I go out to the world, and I'm going to put that out. Yeah.
I love it. I'm so glad you are. So, because we need to be reminded. We need to be reminded.
Yes, we do, like any other habit we're trying to accomplish. And it's something you do every day till it's just a habit. You don't think about it like brushing your teeth. Very, yes. So when you are not feeling your happy self, we all have our days. How do you bring yourself back into alignment?
That's a really good question. And so, I know, so needed.
Yeah.
So how myself into alignment is I have created the habit of self-awareness, right? I've created the habit of knowing when I start to feel heavy or when I feel heavy, I have to stop. And what I do is I actually say the word stop in my head. Because what that does is it does that brain, right? It does that brain intercept. It's like, you know, because when your mind's going on that thought, it's like when you say stop, it's like, what? Stop what? You know, the brain goes into what's going on? And so then I take a breath. And usually what I do is I tap my heart. I tap my, and I'm upset or I'm frustrated or because that happens, you know, or I get triggered somehow, I kind of lose it. I kind of get out of my body, right? So what I do is I bring myself back by just tapping on my heart or my chest, and I bring myself present. Then take the breaths, because sometimes I don't remember to breathe first. I can remember to do something physical. So I tap, then I breathe, you know, I do the belly breath, and then it's like, okay, Brenda, what's going on? What were happening? Look what I created. You know, I'm noticing my judgments, okay? And I love myself anyway. I go into a 4-step process that you know, what I learned in the forgiveness work. Yeah. And then I'm willing to see the perfection, and I choose peace. And having a little mantra to say, I would encourage people to have one, whatever it is. It's like, I am present now with my breath. I used that for the longest time to get myself centered. I am present in this moment with my breath. So that's how I do it, is I tap to get myself physical, and then, or stomp my feet, and then go, okay, what's going on, Brenda? What happened? And then I can talk myself through. It's like, okay, no, that's just a story. That's not true. What do I need to do to take care of myself? And I'll ask myself that, Brenda, what do you need right now? And sometimes it's go outside. Sometimes it's you need to eat. Sometimes it's, you know, sometimes it's just breathe, but you'll get a message. You know, your body will. So those are simple things, and they're powerful.
Oh yeah, let your body speak. Your body has a voice too. We don't listen to it. And you know, everything you just said, is something you would give a friend. So if you're visiting with a friend and you see her struggling, you're going to take her out of the situation. You're going to give her some love, and you're going to check in with her, and you're going to let her speak. We don't give ourselves that. We just bombard through our day.
We do.
Beautiful.
We do. Yeah.
Yes. So it looks like we're having a little pause on the internet, a little delay. I'm so sorry. So I'm going to just pause till we catch up here so no one misses any good nuggets.
Okay.
Okay, there, we're back. So when we end today, could you please give our fans one more beautiful piece of nugget? Speak to someone that is struggling, that is trying to find their happy.
Oh, yes. Thank you for that. Because what I would say is that, you know, that it seems like it's really challenging right now, or the situation is really difficult. Yet when we center in our heart and bring ourselves back to who we are, you know, by tapping on our heart or just breathing into our heart, then that reminds us of who we are. Even if we're not sure yet exactly, but there's a part of us that knows who we are. And when we can center back in there and just breathe into that and just say to ourselves, if we can, I am willing to believe in myself. I am willing to know I matter.
Yeah.
I am willing to know and to show other people who I truly am. And when we say I am willing, it's better than just saying I am loved, because we don't believe it at that moment in time. So I am willing to believe in myself. I am willing to know I am loved is something that I practice all the time.
Beautiful. And I have a question for you about heart, because you've said that several times, going into your heart. Can you speak to someone that maybe does not live there? They don't even know what that feels like. Can you give them a tip of how to access it and how to be there, how to live there?
Yes. So that has been my quest, because what I realized 10 years ago was like I was all in my head because my heart wasn't safe. That's how I felt. That's what I learned. I didn't know that. And so what I really encourage people to do that spend a lot of time in our heads and not in our hearts is to do the practice like I talked earlier about tapping your heart, bringing yourself sense.
So you're just tapping.
You're just,
I might do that.
Just tapping.
Okay.
Yep, tap your heart. Tap your heart.
Okay.
There is processes like, EFT. There's processes you out of your head into your heart by using the tapping. But for me, I do that too. I've done that. But also just tap into your heart. And what I do for myself is I use the tools that we just talked about. When my head gets going, I say stop. And then what I learned through the Heart Math Institute was the heart coherence breathing. So the heart is how I get into my heart, because I can still get into my head too much. So the heart breathing is where you bring attention to your heart. You can either put your hand there or tap it. And then you take some breaths, normal breaths, and then you practice breathing in intentionally, in and out of your heart. In and out of your heart. And you breathe that. And then what you're doing is you're bringing in a picture or a feeling of gratitude or happiness. Like I picture my grandkids. Or, you can picture something that really brings you joy. Yeah. And breathe that in and out of your heart. And this is what the practice, and just let it, and then you can. I just have people do it and myself do it for just myself at first. And then you can let it grow and grow and grow to include the room, the house, whoever you want to include. Yeah. And that's been something that I learned years ago that has really saved me. And that's because to get from our head to our heart, we have to practice being there.
Yeah. Exactly.
We practice that by saying, I am willing to know my heart. I am willing to be loved. I am willing to know what's going on in my heart. And the other thing is that I have learned what kept me out of my heart was my stories. What kept me out of my heart was fear. And what kept me out of my heart was the beliefs. And so as I started to uncover those and release those, that gave me the capacity to open more to myself and therefore others.
Yes, that is so beautiful. And I love how you brought in gratitude to that, because going into your heart when you have some forgiveness to do, for sure, is painful, and it's scary, and it's unknown. And I find that when you visualize someone you love or something you're grateful for, you automatically go there. And the more you feel that, the more easy it is to go. So anything it is that brings you gratitude or that you love, close your eyes and think of that, and you automatically will go heart-centered. And it's like grabbing the keys to our car before we leave and turning off the lights or turning whatever routine we have before we leave the house. How about we close our eyes and think of something we're grateful for, so we walk out heart-centered? You know, we walk out to the world already being available and in our heart. So we do everything with heart. Where was that missed? You know, such a beautiful lesson. Yeah. Thank you so much, Brenda. You gave us so many beautiful, inspiring tips to create happy as a daily habit. Hearing all the things that you do makes me want to look into tapping even more. I have watched EFT, I have watched videos, but I haven't practiced it myself. And I kind of feel like with the tapping, it is a distraction to get out of your head. So if you're tapping your heart, it just gets you present in that area. I love that. Or you said stomping your feet. I think that is beautiful as well.
Yes.
It's just, it gets us out of our head, you know? I love it. Thank you so much. So Brenda, could you please tell our fans how to reach you and maybe anything that you have coming up that you would love to talk about?
Absolutely. Thank you for asking.
Yes.
So you can reach me through my website at Brenda Reiss, REISS coaching.com. So it's all one word, BrendaReissCoaching.com. And you can also reach out to me on Facebook, just Brenda Reiss, REISS. And I have two, that's my personal, and I have Brenda Reiss-Coach on Facebook also.
Perfect.
And I have coming up a workshop, if you're able to hear this, before November 10th, 2018. And I am doing a radical forgiveness, a workshop that walks you through the 5 stages. So the other part about getting out of my head into my heart was finding this forgiveness process, because it gave me 5 steps to do. And oh my gosh, my head just went, yay! Because what it does is it gives your head something to do so that your heart can heal. And it is miraculous. It helped me heal. So today I'm friends with my ex-wife and my ex-husband. And it was like, you know, when I started the work, it was amazing. And, you know, so that's important. So on November 10th, you can find that out on my Facebook page and also on my website. You can get more information about that. And I'm running a $50 off discount code of MOF147.
Wow.
The Magic of Forgiveness, MOF147, to save $50 off of that. And yeah.
Awesome. You know, guys, I took her workshop. My wife and I took it. And going into the workshop, you know, whenever you say forgiveness, one person always pops in your head, right? That's not always the person that's causing the trouble. And it cracked me wide open. That's a positive thing. I had a lot of work to do around my daughter and my relationship with my daughter that I had no idea how heavy. No idea. And it was so powerful for me that I had to walk out. The emotions just overtook me. It was like I was holding on to 10 pounds of weight. And Brenda's spirit is so inviting, and you instantly feel comfortable, and she gives you the space and the time to work the way you need to and at the speed you need to. She let me go. she had checked in just to make sure I was okay, but there was no force to do any of the exercise she asked me to do or to go any deeper. And I felt so comfortable and so safe and just amazing. I don't know what else to say. I mean, I'm just having chills. So I'm trying to be present in my body with what's going on while I'm speaking of this. But since then, since I opened up that door and gave myself permission to feel those feelings and let go and do some forgiveness, amazing things have happened. You know, they don't ever go away. It's not like you ever forget. And there is times where I miss my daughter and things trigger and I'm sad, but I know how to visit those, give myself love and let them go. And she now is able to have the freedom to be who she needs to be without feeling the heaviness of me. And that is the best present a mom could give. So Brenda, thank you for that. You were huge for that for me.
Oh, thank you for sharing that.
Yes. And
Thank
so
you,
everyone, even if you think you forgive everyone and you're not having things, it's still a beautiful opportunity to learn something new. And I guarantee you will grow. I guarantee it. Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes. So I will put all this information in the link so they'll know exactly how to get to you. And I will do my best to get this out soon so they can hear about your wonderful workshop. I know you have workshops on an ongoing basis. So if they missed that one, I'm sure there's another one coming up very soon.
Yeah, thank you.
You're very welcome. Thank you for taking time for us and for your growth. I hope you discovered new habits to support your happiness. Please reach out with questions or if you need more support in Happy Balance Facebook group or balancewithcourtney.com. Thank you, Brenda.
Oh, thank you, Courtney.
Have a wonderful rest of your day.
I will, thank you. You too.